Welcome back.
Whoa.
It's another edition of Opposite Saxes.
You sound like Ed McMahon.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I always wanted to be that announcer in the boxing rink or something that says, "Ladies and gentlemen."
You could do that too.
Yeah, always wanted to.
You're a jack of all trades.
To do so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opposite Saxes.
Whoa.
And the crowd goes wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Right. Yeah, that's what we need.
What?
You used to have that in the studio.
Oh, and an applause track.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people whistling and
that was funny. Yeah.
We'll have to add that to the show.
We need to do that
Or something. And then when I say something stupid, it goes wah, 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 wah.
That's
something like that.
That's something. Anywho, Thursday, 1 o'clock.
Yep.
You're in the right place.
Time for Opposite Saxes, and Lauren's going to be the one to go off this week. Because we.
So what else is new?
You know, every week it's something else that, fortunately for us, almost something happens every week that we say, oh, that's going to be the subject for a show. And we went to see a doctor. This is a doctor actually you've been wanting to see for years, and you went to one of his associates for many years, and he moved, and so the lead doctor in the practice made an appointment to see you. So first of all, what they sent you an email.
Well, I'm already a patient of the office, so
already
they just
established.
sent me an email and said something about paperwork, but I figured I'm established. What do I need to do that for?
Mm-hmm.
So got there in plenty of time.
Wait, didn't you get stuff in advance? Didn't they send you an email and you had stuff
text
to fill out some forms in advance? That was a different doctor.
No, that was somebody. Unfortunately, I've had a couple doctors.
We'll get to that one in a minute.
But no, and this one I sat down and we were the only ones in the waiting room, and I thought, if I had known that this was such a good doctor, I'd be a little skeptical. But so when I signed in and said I'm here, she gave me this, got to be at least 10 pages. And you have to fill in your history of everything, what you've had, what you haven't had, the injections you've had, everything.
But they already have that on file.
They do, but it had been a little while since I've been there. I've been there. It had been a couple of years.
Yeah.
So they wanted, I guess, they want an update. God forbid my injections,
Well, wouldn't it make sense? They're sitting in front of a screen, and they say, do you have a change of address or any other information has changed in the last 2 years?
Which they did. They said, do you have a change of insurance? And I gave them the change of insurance, and everything else was fine. And when I got there and she hands me the stack of papers, that's when I said to her, oh, well, I could have filled this out at home and brought it with me, but there was nothing on my portal, my patient portal. And she smiled. So I proceeded to sit down and go through it. And there's dates of things from 20, 30, 40 years ago, and they want dates. And I'm sorry, I don't remember everything, but I had it written down at home. I could have brought it with me. Didn't know I'd need it.
But they didn't send you an email saying if you have any records that you need to use for updating your records, please bring the file with you.
So at any event, I sat down, I started filling it out. And would you know, within 5 minutes, shock, I get called in.
See the doctor.
So I tell them.
First you see the nurse.
Yeah. And I saw the nurse and I said, oh, don't worry. You can fill this out while you're waiting to see the doctor. Well, how busy can he be? Because there's nobody in this friggin' office.
Yeah.
But I go ahead and I give her some information, which she says, oh, and you don't have to put that down in the history since you just told me. Okay, fine. Thank you.
And now also, folks, she's already a little frustrated because she has to fill out all these extra forms. She goes in, the first thing the physician's assistant does is to take her blood pressure, which goes almost to the ceiling. Which Lauren replies, oh yeah, he's probably
from walking in here and being asked to do so much, you could take it before I leave. You could take it again. So I go and she leaves. She's a doctor of being here.
Go back to filling out
And I
your
go back
forms.
filling out and it was not 60 seconds. And the doctor came in. So I couldn't fill out the forms. And he's talking, very sweet. So glad I met him.
Mhm.
Everything was fine. Walked out. And now I'm checking out.
We'll see you again in 2 years.
Yeah. And I'm filling out. I make it a date for 2 years from now. And I said, but I still have these forms. Oh, you can go in the waiting room and finish filling them out.
Yeah.
I said, but why didn't you guys let me know?
Yeah, didn't you need all these forms filled out
and
prior to my seeing the doctor?
She smiles at me like the first one smiled at me.
What?
And I'm
now the other part of the story is that you haven't filled out all of the forms yet, but she says, oh, I see the doctor wants to see you in 2 years. Okay, so she goes to her calendar and Lauren says, okay, 2 years from the same date and everything. And we said, yeah, and the same time, 10 o'clock in the morning works well. Oh, he already has an appointment for that day. So we had to go with the next day to get 2 years.
Well, you know what? And I knew to bring my calendar. I have 3-year calendars. They're paper calendars. I am old school.
Yeah.
And it pays to be old school sometimes because I was able to fill in
and to have 3 years in advance too.
So that wasn't a problem. The problem was I didn't have any of the information I needed to fill out the forms, and I did it from memory. And I am still checking in when I've already been checked out.
Right.
So that's number one. Then I had to see another doctor. It's been the doctor month. Yep. And this is a new one. So I knew I'd have to fill out a lot. Doctor. And they, at least on their portal, they said, go to the portal and there will be papers to fill out. There were papers.
And there were papers.
There were 18 pieces of paper.
18 pages to fill out.
It took me 1.5 hours at home to fill out the papers. And I was just surprised because nobody has ever, this guy just covers all of his bases. Everything.
That's what it's
called. Which is fine.
Called CYA.
But at least I did. I got it at home. And thank God that I did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know how long I'd be sitting in the office.
And you have seen this doctor?
I haven't seen him yet.
Oh, you haven't seen him yet.
I'm going to see him.
So what do you think the chances are when you walk in, having already submitted your 18 pages of paperwork, that they're going to hand you a clipboard with at least 4, 5, 6 more pages?
I don't think they will.
That says, you know, no. again, the HIPAA, the
No, I filled that out too. That is all done. I'm telling you what they're gonna say is he's going to, and so is his nurse, going to ask me the questions that are on the papers. Like, when was your last COVID vaccine? Did you have this? Did you have that? Did you have a shingle shot? Did you have a pneumonia shot? And it's all on the papers.
And then one of the papers always says, are you experiencing any of the following today? Right. You know, headaches, dizziness, whatever.
Right.
And
no.
That's usually one of the forms that you fill out that day. And then you fill out a form in there that also gives them permission to see you, treat you, to do anything else that maybe needs to be done. And then there's another one that says that you'll accept responsibility for any charges that may not be covered by insurance.
Yeah, that's true. Then
now this is all after you filled out 18.
And the papers in case you want your husband or a family member to come pick up records of any sort or medications of any sort.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad I was able to do it at home but I was just surprised that it was 18. I guess it just depends how organized their offices are or who the manager of the office is, I'm thinking, and who trains these people. It must be, I don't know.
I always wanted to ask them when we get there, Did you find anything in the 18 pages that I filled out and submitted to you that you might have a question about? They're gonna look at you and say,
Right. What are you talking about?
huh?
Yeah. What are
You
you
know,
talking about?
I don't do that. That just goes to,
Well, I get it that insurances change and things change from year to year. So yeah, they do like some paperwork. But with the legalities and court cases and everything, I think they're all trying to cover themselves, which is fine. But it's not even that, it's forms for anything.
uh, don't tell
Forms,
me I get
forms
the same.
for checking account, a new checking account.
And I mean, I remember the day that when you filled out the forms, it was usually at the doctor's office. You would sit down,
Right.
and they would always tell you to come 30 minutes early in order to fill out the forms.
Well, sometimes they do now.
Well, that's what I'm saying is now today, what they do is they say, go to your patient portal,
Yeah.
which I had to take an advanced degree class in order to learn how to use
You're
the
not
portal.
good with things like that.
No,
You don't have patience.
and you go to the portal and it says, here's the stuff. Print this out, fill it out, and bring it in with you. So you walk in and you fill it out and you hand it to them. And of course, they're not gonna get around to inputting it into the system.
Well,
for a little unless you fill it out and then you have to scan it and send it back to them.
No, well, you're supposed to. That's why you get there the 30 minutes early. So that all the papers you bring them, that's when they're supposed to be inputting all that into the portal and for the doctor to see.
Right.
It is 30 minutes can turn out to be 45 to 15, 20, 40 minutes.
That's when they ask to please see a picture ID.
Right.
And your insurance cards, and you can't show it to them. You have to take it out and give it to them.
Right.
Because they have to scan that into
Right.
the system. And while they're doing that, here's a clipboard and a pen, and go ahead and fill out these other
ones.
These other forms.
It's everything is forms now. And when I look at the reams of paper you get when you go to CVS as a receipt, the paper that we're using, I mean, it's amazing.
You could plant a small tree in your yard.
Oh my God. I mean, CVS, you notice those receipts you get,
yes.
for your reward points?
You go in and buy a candy bar.
Oh my God.
And you give them your $2 or whatever. They print you out a receipt that is 4 feet long.
It is.
Because it's got $5 off of this. And if you need hand cream or you need.
I can't imagine the bottom line on their budget for paper, for rolls of receipt paper. And
I guess that's part of their advertising.
That's part of doing business. Yeah.
But now that you've filled out your 18 pages and you've given that to the doctor and you've gone in and you filled out more information, or you filled out the information after you've already been released and booked your next appointment 2 years later, then you get home and you open up your computer and there's an email from your doctor.
Yeah.
Would you please take a moment to fill out this survey?
So tired of surveys.
To tell how did we do? And were we on time? Between 1 being I had to wait a long time, and 10 was I was taken right away. And some of those surveys, some are 3-4 questions. Thank you very much.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
Some of them 10 or 15 minutes.
It takes. Yeah, when you ordered some nuts.
And it's not from the doctor's office. It is from a service that they subscribe to, like MailChimp or something. And you fill out the form and the form goes to MailChimp. They collate everything and they send a report to the doctor's office with a bill for the service of getting that survey from us. And boy, if you answer no thank you to the survey, you better believe next week you're going to get another email.
That's okay. You know what? I've started putting no on at least the doctors that I go to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
If they keep sending me surveys, I just delete it.
Sure.
I trash it. I'm sorry.
But
I'm
next
done.
week you get another request.
Then they're more than welcome to send them to me,
Yes.
but I'm going to delete
Did
them.
you check your spam? We sent you a survey and we haven't received your response yet. So please check your spam.
You'll get surveys for, sometimes we get nuts from that nut company,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
we get
you get surveys for
gluten-free-
everything.
My gluten-free foods surveys out the wazoo, and there are lots of times. I'm sorry, companies.
I
delete.
ordered a grass clipper from Lowe's, and I received it. And you get an email. You get an email that says your item was delivered, and then probably within a matter of hours you get a survey. What do you think you're at? I haven't had even time to open it up. I haven't even had time to use it yet and all. But you want me to send you a
Excuse me,
10 rating?
is that the third or fourth grass clipper that you have that we talked about on our previous show about downsizing and cleaning out the garage?
Yeah, one of the four. Thank you for bringing that up again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you a form to fill out.
I thought that was the one.
The other thing
Yes.
is now when you order food online,
Yes.
even
Oh, yeah.
you order a pizza from Domino, a few days later, please rate, how well we took care of you.
It is. It gets a little frustrating, but business is tough, and they're
Yeah.
trying to survive. But sometimes I think it's a little overkill.
But I really wonder, number one, does the location where you ordered that product from, does that local location actually see the results of that survey?
I would think
or
so.
does it just go to corporate?
No, I would think the manager would.
I don't think so.
Really? I would
think
hope. I would hope
I
so.
think it goes to corporate, and corporate looks at all the 5-star ratings and everything. And if there's a 1-star rating, they look at it and then.
No, I would hope that they would, if it's corporate that's just seeing that, then they're getting on the ball and they're contacting that store manager of that franchise
got a
and
2-star
saying, we got a
rating for this."
problem here. I would
That's what
hope.
they
That's
should
one of
do.
the reasons why you would do it, I would think.
Yeah, and then you watch Undercover Boss.
Yeah, you like that
And-
show.
Yeah, I love that show, because you realize how many CEOs and presidents of companies
Have no clue.
no clue as to what's going on in the company that they are the CEO or president
I
of.
just wish they would do some new ones. A lot of them, the companies unfortunately weren't doing, the presidents weren't doing too well.
Well, and they're no
And
longer in
they're
business,
gone.
and
They're
now you
gone.
know why.
Yeah,
Because the undercover boss didn't have a clue
That's
as to
right.
what was going on. But you
That's
see, the reason was because he didn't send out surveys. He didn't send out paperwork for people to fill out, or the people didn't fill out the 18 pages of paperwork before they came to work.
well, at any rate, thank you for letting me vent.
Yes.
We
And-
appreciate it.
Yes. And by the way, if you want to know more about the show, just send us an email or whatever, and we'll tell you. You don't have any forms to fill out. And all you got to do is just 1:00 on Thursdays, just click on it, and we'll be here. Okay. See you later.
Thanks for
Bye.
joining us. Bye.